There is a strange myth about intelligence. Most people imagine that a highly intelligent person looks obvious. They picture someone who talks non-stop, corrects everyone in the room, explains complicated ideas, and constantly proves how smart they are. If someone is truly intelligent, they must show it all the time. But real psychology tells a very different story. Some of the most intelligent minds in the world are not loud. They are not constantly explaining themselves. They are not trying to impress people in every conversation. In fact, many of them appear quiet, observant, even mysterious. Because extremely high intelligence often hides behind subtle behaviors that most people completely misunderstand. Cognitive psychologists explain that intelligence is not just about knowledge, it is about how the brain processes information, how it detects patterns, how it questions assumptions, how it holds complex ideas in mind at the same time. And when a brain processes reality at that depth, it naturally develops habits that look unusual to others. For example, a highly intelligent person might stay silent during a heated debate, not because they have nothing to say, but because they are analyzing every angle before speaking. They might enjoy spending long periods alone, not because they dislike people, but because their mind is constantly exploring ideas. They might question things that everyone else accepts without thinking. To an outside observer, these behaviors can look strange. Sometimes people even mistake them for arrogance, awkwardness, or overthinking. But in reality, these small habits often reveal something deeper. They reveal a mind that is constantly processing, questioning, and searching for understanding. And psychology research has discovered that many individuals with extremely high IQ share a surprising number of these behaviors. They are not obvious signals like solving math problems instantly or memorizing books. Instead, they are quiet patterns in how a person thinks, reacts, and experiences the world. In this video, we are going to explore 10 psychological habits that are commonly found in people with extremely high IQ. Some of these habits might surprise you, some might challenge the way you think about intelligence, and some might even make you recognize parts of yourself that you never fully understood before. Because sometimes the most intelligent minds in the room are not the ones speaking the most. They are the ones observing, questioning, and thinking several steps ahead. So pay close attention. By the end of this video, you may start noticing intelligence in places you never expected, and you might discover that the quiet mind is often the most powerful one in the room. Before we begin, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My mind seeks truth. Habit 1. Comfort with solitude. One of the most misunderstood traits of highly intelligent people is their relationship with solitude. Many people assume that if someone spends a lot of time alone, something must be wrong. They might think the person is antisocial, distant, or disconnected from the world. But psychology research shows a different reality. For individuals with extremely high IQ, solitude is not loneliness. It is mental freedom. Their mind is rarely quiet. Even in silence, their thoughts are active. Ideas move rapidly. Questions appear constantly. Connections form between things that most people would never link together. Because of this intense internal activity, quiet time becomes incredibly valuable. When the outside world is noisy, the mind has less space to explore complex thoughts. Conversations demand attention. Social expectations require emotional energy. Constant interaction forces the brain to shift focus again and again. But solitude removes those interruptions. And when that happens, something powerful begins to unfold. The mind can wander through deeper questions. A highly intelligent person might sit alone and suddenly begin exploring an idea about human behavior. That thought leads to another concept. That concept connects to a pattern they noticed weeks ago. Soon their brain is building entire mental frameworks. What looks like someone simply sitting in silence might actually be hours of deep internal exploration. This is why many brilliant thinkers throughout history valued time alone. They understood that creative thinking rarely happens in crowded rooms. Solitude gives the brain permission to slow down and dive deeper. Psychologists sometimes call this deep cognitive reflection. It is the ability to analyze ideas without pressure, without distractions, and without the need to immediately explain your thoughts to others. And this mental space often produces powerful insights. But there is another reason highly intelligent people feel comfortable alone. Their curiosity keeps them mentally occupied. They do not rely on constant stimulation from other people because their own thoughts are often more engaging than external entertainment. A single question can keep them thinking for hours. Why do people behave a certain way? What patterns exist in society? What hidden motivations drive human decisions? These kinds of questions create an endless mental landscape. To someone with a highly active mind, solitude is not empty. It is full of ideas, full of curiosity, full of exploration. And, ironically, people who are comfortable being alone often build stronger relationships later in life. Why? Because they do not interact with others out of desperation for attention. They choose connection intentionally. They listen carefully. They observe deeply. And when they speak, their words carry weight. So the next time you see someone who enjoys quiet time, do not assume they are disconnected from the world. They might simply be exploring it in a deeper way. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Solitude strengthens my mind. Habit 2. Persistent curiosity. One of the clearest psychological patterns found in people with extremely high IQ is a deep and relentless curiosity about how things work. For them, the world is not simply a place to move through, it is a puzzle waiting to be explored. Most people accept everyday events without questioning them. They see a situation, form a quick opinion, and move on with their day. But a highly intelligent mind rarely stops there. Instead of accepting surface explanations, their brain automatically begins asking deeper questions. Why did that happen? What caused that reaction? What pattern is hidden beneath that behavior? This constant search for explanations is not something they force themselves to do. It happens naturally. Their brain is wired to investigate. A simple conversation might trigger 10 different thoughts in their mind. They might start analyzing tone, word choice, emotional reactions, and underlying motives all at the same time. Where others see a moment, they see a system. And curiosity does not stop with people. It expands into everything around them. They wonder how technology evolves, how cultures form beliefs, how history repeats certain patterns, and why certain ideas influence society more than others. Even small observations can lead them into deep exploration. A single question can open the door to hours of reading, researching, and thinking. For example, they might start with a simple curiosity about why humans fear uncertainty. That thought might lead them into psychology. Psychology might connect to evolutionary behavior. That connection might bring them into anthropology or philosophy. Their curiosity creates chains of discovery, and those chains rarely end. This is why highly intelligent individuals often develop knowledge across many different fields. They do not study topics only because they are required to. They study them because their mind refuses to stop asking questions. Curiosity becomes the engine that drives their learning. Psychologists often describe this as intrinsic motivation. It means the desire to understand something comes from inside the mind itself, not from external rewards like grades, praise, or recognition. For highly intelligent people, learning is not a task. It is an instinct. And this instinct creates a powerful advantage over time. While others stop learning after school or work hours, a curious mind continues exploring ideas long after the day ends. Books become gateways, conversations become learning opportunities, Even mistakes become valuable information. Every experience adds another layer to their understanding of the world. But curiosity also comes with a challenge. Sometimes the mind refuses to turn off. Questions appear at random moments. Ideas compete for attention. Thoughts keep expanding long after everyone else has moved on. Still, this constant questioning is one of the strongest indicators of deep intelligence. Because true intelligence is not about having all the answers. It is about never losing the desire to search for them. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My curiosity has power. Habit 3. Talking to themselves while thinking. One behavior that often confuses people is when someone quietly talks to themselves while thinking. Many assume this habit is strange. Some even associate it with distraction or lack of focus. But psychology research suggests something very different. For highly intelligent individuals, self-directed speech can actually be a powerful cognitive tool. When a person speaks their thoughts out loud, even softly, the brain begins to organize information more clearly. Words create structure. They transform abstract thoughts into a sequence that the mind can analyze step by step. In simple terms, speaking to yourself